Let's turn our attention to chocolate. For the last 34 years, Seattle chocolate has had our heart and our stomachs. It started in 1991, and 10 years later, the original factory was actually destroyed by the Nisqually earthquake. Entrepreneur, mother, and investor Jean Thompson took the reins and did the rebuilding. And now, years later, a name change. Seattle chocolate, as delicious as ever, is now Maeve. And we wanted to find out about the name change, of course, and what's ahead for the chocolate factory. So CEO Jean and her daughter Ellie, now the brand manager, are here. And you brought chocolate, which I'm going to dive into soon, which I cannot wait. But first, I want to talk about this road to the name change. Was that a conversation, I understand, between the two of you? Mm-hmm. Tell me about that.
Yeah, Ellie graduated from college 6 years ago and started working at Seattle Chocolate. And right around that time, she decided, I'd really like to take over the reins someday and run the company. And she also, like maybe a year or two into her tenure, said, I love Seattle Chocolate. It's my favorite, but the name is not cool. It's just not gonna really talk to my peers, millennials and Gen Zs, the way that we need it to. And I said, you're right. Like, I knew that, but what do we do about it? It seemed too late, 34 years in.
Right.
I guess it was probably 32 years in by then. And it just felt too late, but we thought, let's go for it. Let's figure out a way to fix this so that we have a road into the future.
I love this mother-daughter duo. And so Ellie, tell me about the name.
Yeah, absolutely. So Maeve was a queen in Ireland in the 1st century. And when we worked with the branding agency trying to come up with a bunch of name options, we told them a story of, over the years, Jean always joked that there was a chocolate goddess kind of peeking over her shoulder, guiding her, like she would have lucky serendipitous moments and be like, the chocolate goddess is looking out for me. So the branding agency gave us a bunch of names of goddesses from around the world, and we landed on Maeve because our family is from Ireland originally, but she also is a very salty character. Like, she let women go to war, own land. She had 12 husbands or something. Like, she was a very interesting person, so we thought she was the perfect mascot.
Oh, that's so awesome. And you mentioned this, Jean, that you were maybe a little worried about how people would receive, changing the name and stuff. So was it tough then, kind of giving that up?
It was. We certainly gave it a tremendous amount of thought and got everyone in the company and our leadership team really to think about it. But it was pretty obvious we needed to make a change. If you looked at the data, the sell-through anywhere outside of the Pacific Northwest, we'd get distribution and then nobody would pull it off the shelf. And it was pretty clear it was because it was regionally named. So as we were trying to take our mission forward, chocolate, further to get sort of more of an audience of people helping farmers ultimately, we knew that something had to be done about that regional name. So that gave me the strength to push through it, even though we were really nervous about it.
I mean, that makes perfect sense. And so what's different now, at the factory and everything else?
So a lot of the brand's actually the same. It's the same chocolate, it's the same people behind the brand. We like to joke that Seattle Chocolate just got a new outfit.
That's cute, I like that.
So still the same quality, still the same depth and values. We're woman-owned, carbon neutral. We donate 10% of our net profits to cocoa farmers. We like to have a lot of fun, as you can see by kind of our zany, wacky packaging, and we're from Seattle. So now, hopefully, Maeve kind of encapsulates all of the different levels of who we are.
The packaging is really stunning, and you touched on this. Maeve prides itself on being a chocolate brand that really gives back. So, Jean, can you share more on the company impact?
Yeah. So for the last 10 or 15 years, we've really been sort of focused, after I got the company sort of profitable and under control and learned a little bit what I was doing. We started looking up and seeing what could we do for the community, or what could we do for the planet, and then also the farmers, because it's really kind of a difficult supply chain, cocoa. Right now it's actually literally in an endangered tree, and it's probably going to be one of the first crops because it's grown equatorial, and the climate change, El Nino, those things have really wreaked havoc on it. Supply's way down. There's actually not really enough supply for the demand, so the price has gone way up, which has been really difficult. But the farmers have never had good lives, so the 10% of net profits gets donated right now for Maeve to Ghanaian farmers, which is the #2 cocoa growing region in the world.
Gosh, amazing, you guys. Okay, I want to get to some chocolate tasting. So 19 bar flavors, 18 bonbon flavors, right? And you each have a favorite, I hear, that you want me to try. So tell me about your favorite and what I'm going to try.
You go first.
Okay. Happy to. So
Yay!
my favorite is Hungry Blackberry. It also actually comes as a bonbon. We have blackberry
The packaging,
bramble.
again, so sleek.
She's so cute.
She's so cute.
We named her Gretchen. She's adorable. But here, I'll pass this to you.
Thank you.
To
Yeah,
try.
tell me about it while I'm ripping this open.
So we have a dark chocolate shell and a white chocolate blackberry center. So all of our bars are truffle bars, meaning they're made in 3 layers, and we add a drop of coconut oil to the center layer so you get a lower melting point. It really gets that flavor explosion in your mouth. Yeah, it's insane.
The flavor explosion that's happening right now. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that so delicious?
The blackberry really comes through. That's so
Yes.
nice. Okay, and not to be, over, like,
By the way, I
sold.
also love that one.
Okay, fair enough.
So
Jean.
we usually fight over that, but I actually decided to showcase the salted toffee crackle, which happens to be in our Seattle line, holding true to our roots with this line, showing Deception Pass. But it has our dark chocolate, which about a year ago we started making ourselves in our own factory from fine flavored beans from Ghana, from Peru. Oh, sorry, I should be handing that over. I didn't want to let it go.
I'm just like, give me. Keep going. Sorry,
And it
Peru.
also has Peru and Ecuador, and it has a French toffee in there, and a little bit of sea salt. So it's just kind of a crowd-pleasing flavor. And the dark chocolate has a lot of cocoa notes while also still being smooth and approachable.
You guys are the absolute best. Thanks for being here. I love this mother-daughter duo. It's a dream team. Thank you, thank you.
Thanks, Kelly.
And you can all come and see how the chocolate is made. The company loves to give factory tours. You'll find all this information on their website.